Hi everyone and welcome to another card tutorial. Today I have three cards for you using the Spring Gnome stamp set. So they are mini cards. I actually gave all of them to my mother-in-law for kind of some sort of Christmas decorations, something like that. The first card is the I care about you so much. First, though, we have the coloring, and this is just a little small outtake of the coloring. You will find the full coloring in a separate video in real time, and that is linked in the description down below and at the end of the video. And if I remember, in a little card here. After coloring them all, I just fuzzy cut them out, but there are coordinating dies. So for the first card, I'm using a 3 3/8 square stitched die to cut up some lemon chiffon, and then I made a card base that measures 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 by cutting a cardstock down to 3 3/4 by 7.5. I then gonna score it at 3 3/4, and I accidentally scored two lines here. And I have a little tip for you. I'm gonna show. I have a Teflon bone folder, so all I do is kind of press down on that line that I didn't want to have, and as you see here, it is almost gone. Not completely, but almost gone. So you can get away with it, and if you kind of score a little bit extra more than I did, you can almost get it away even more. I'm using the new stencil called Basket Weave, and I am going to do some blending. I'm going to use a blending brush with the coordinating ink, which is the lemon chiffon ink by My Favorite Things. First of all, I love my blending brushes. I haven't really used them that much, and then I saw a video about them and I tried them, and yeah, I love them. I need bigger ones though for these kind of blending. If you don't have the coordinating ink, you can use Versamark ink. Versamark ink is very sticky and kind of slow drying. This is a dye ink and it actually dries a little bit faster. So I like the coordinating inks a little bit more. Decided I wanted to do some blending on the edges just to kind of make the lines a little bit less visual on that cardstock. For the sentiment, I'm going to use the I care about you so much. And I wanted to use the same yellow ink, however, stamping it once is kind of light. So I'm using my Misty stamp machine, or what it's called, and I'm going to double stamp it. And by double stamping it, I'm getting double the amount of color, which means that it is a little bit deeper, a little bit darker, and you can actually see the sentiment a lot better this way. Then I'm going to use one of my favorite flag dies from the blueprint set. Will be linked in the description down below. And I'm going to do my favorite technique where I turn it around and kind of cut off the edge here to shorten the flag, but also give it flag ends on both sides. So I line it up inside the die and just run it through again. And now I have flag ends on both sides. Pretty easy, pretty quick. For this card, I chose the little green gnome kind of rabbit, bunny, I don't know, because he is holding a carrot, and I wanted to kind of make it all about carrots because I care about you, you know? So I start by just layering that layer flat down on my cardstock, and then I'm going to use a lot of 3M foam tape. I cut it to piece. This is one of the reasons why I love the foam tape, is that it's very easy to cut to pieces and get those perfect sizes. Um, and then I just line these little characters up after I remove the paper, of course, onto the card base. And then the little kind of adding all of the little carrots are the next step. I'm using some tape pen or glue pen, sorry, for the little carrots. The one I use right now is the Lawn Fawn, but there is a My Favorite Things one. I have that too, but I want to run out of the Lawn Fawn first. And then I just place the carrots a little bit around it. I now have 4 carrots and I need to make 5 carrots. So that is what I'm adding here, the 5th carrot, because unevenness is kind of the best way to go. So yeah, that's my first card. I care about you so much. I actually really, really like this card. It was one of my favorite ones. So for my second card is this. This is even a little bit smaller, and it's the little pink bunny I did. This card is 3 by 3 inches, so I cut it at 3 and by 6 and 6 inches, and then I score it at 3 again, and you get a square card. I love small square cards. This is one of the favorite things I do. Then use this scallop circular stitched die, also by my favorite things. Um, and then I just carefully push that out, and I have my little circle. The pattern paper I'm using is the gift wrap paper, also by my favorite things. For my sentiment, I didn't have a Happy Easter sentiment actually among my MFT stamps. So I picked up a stamp from Fawn that says Happy Easter. I actually cut off a little parenthesis on that. So I got this little Happy Easter one, and then I stamped it in Eiffel Tower ink. Because I really like that it is a little bit subtle and it's not that stark black tone, it's just a mid-gray. Beautiful. Then I'm gonna just layer all of the pieces, and again I'm using my 3M foam tape. It's because it's a little bit thinner, so you can actually make multiple layers in a card without it being too thick. And then I'm just gonna layer the little bunny and the little eggs that I colored up. Now for the eggs, I wanted it to look like he was juggling them. So he's a little egg juggler gnome. Just adorable, just adorable. I really love these little gnomes. They're one of my favorite ones. I cut little teeny tiny pieces of the 3M foam tape. I chose out which of these little eggs I wanted to have. Kind of wanted them to have a good mix of the designs, so that I can do that. I place them up where where I want them to be, so that I have some kind of design checked in. Move them around until I'm happy with them. Yeah. Next step is just to remove the paper and just add them. I usually use like a little tweezers to add them down because it makes it easier. I don't know. For me, it's easier. My fingers are a little bit stubby. They're not super thick, but they're a little bit stubby. So using the tweezers actually help a lot. So yeah, that is my little juggler card. I had so much fun making these cards. Just having I haven't crafted in a while, so this was really, really fun. So here you have him in all his glory. So for the last card, it's actually a tag. I'm using the Tag Builder 5 set. Here's a little tip. If you have a die that starts where the card starts to kind of get stuck, you can use I use paper for like sandwiches, but you can use wax paper, I've heard. Wax paper isn't as easy to get in Sweden, so this was what I used. I used 2 of those because they're super, super thin, and it just kind of drops out of that of it of the die. That's the word. Pretty easy. So for the last little part of that, I am going to use the sunrise radiating rays at Stencil, and I'm blending with a little bit more of that lemon chiffon. For my sentiment, I wanted to kind of match the green with my ribbons, so I picked up the sour apple green. And again, I used the same Happy Easter stamp set and the same little mini die from the, I think that is either from the tag set or from the blueprint set. And then I'm gonna use the thinner 3M for the sentiments, and I'm gonna use a little bit of a thicker, like small squares These are from Crafty Companion like years ago. I still have a whole bunch of sheets, so I thought I used them up as I could. They're a little bit thicker, which means I get a little bit more of a build. And in some cases, that is, I really like that. So I just line these up. I wanted the bunny to kind of be in the middle of that sun ray thing. And for the last part of this, I'm gonna just use some assorted ribbons. I have no clue what these ribbons are. It's just I have a drawer with some ribbons in, and I picked out some greens and some yellows. And here's a little tip. If you have a hard time getting your ribbon through your card, just take a small piece of string, like I do here. I'm just gonna fold all of the strings together though, so it's easy. I just put the strings through the loop of the string, which I put through the tag, and then I carefully just wiggle that through, and then I just remove the extra ribbon. So now I have them through the little tag, and then I'm just gonna push them through the loop of the ribbon so that I have looped them through. I think this is one of the easiest way to get them to stick. You could also just tie them with a ribbon, but I kind of like this, and then I don't have that extra tie. I just have the little ribbons, and this is more for decoration than for hanging, so that's why I do this. So yeah, that is the last tag for my Happy Easter tags. I hope you liked it. If you did, please thumbs it up. It means a lot to me. If you have any questions, just comment down below. Down below you find all the details and everything. I want to say thank you again for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.